Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever. Promise that you sing about me forever.
I tried uploading this video last week, but for whatever reason, it was not cooperating with me and it would not allow me to upload the video. So now I'm re recording Haitian Heritage Month and what it means to be Haitian. I mean, I couldn't let Haitian Heritage Month, also my birthday month, go by without even addressing, being Haitian. Especially Haitians doing big things, and I can say nothing but kudos to us. Now, being Haitian is different from all other ethnic groups and nationalities, and I assume it is for everybody who's from whatever group they're from. Well, being Haitian, especially in my case, is like being in two different worlds when I was growing up. Because inside the household, I was treated like a normal Haitian girl straight from Haiti. But outside the household, I was treated as a black girl until people found out that I was Haitian. Now, people didn't necessarily disrespect me or clown me, but they would ask me some offhanded questions like, "Oh, are you straight off the boat?" Or, Haitians are straight off the boat. It wasn't necessarily towards me because they knew I was born here and I was, I guess, had a lot of American, especially African American attributes to me. I listened to the songs and I watched the movies and I watched the television shows and I ate the food, but there was always some low key slick ass comments about Haitians. Or they'll be like, Haitians do voodoo, or do you know how to do voodoo? And don't get me wrong, voodoo is what helped Haiti come out under France. So I don't knock voodoo, but it was not in a sense of I want to know about this spiritual system. It was more like, oh, I wonder if you're going to turn people into zombies. I wonder if you have a little doll that you pick pins into and if that will react. It was always on some slick ass comments. However, now as an adult, I see that being Haitian is actually the move to be. I see a lot of Haitians doing big things, and I see even celebrities coming out and shouting out Haiti or repping the flag or having respect for Haiti. But being younger and growing up in the late 90s and early to mid 2000s, there wasn't really that much of knowledge when it came to Haitians. It was more of the stereotypes and the misinformation when it came to what are Haitians and what do they do. Like, I remember one time I was probably in the second grade and someone asked me, "Do you have HBO?" And they were giggling and I didn't really understand, and I'm like, HBO, like, isn't that like a television show or something? And I didn't really get it. It wasn't years later I found out that HBO was an acronym for Haitian body odor, because supposedly all Haitians reek. And it was like slick things like that a lot of Haitians, especially Haitians who come from Haiti, had to experience. So it was kind of chuff. I've even heard Haitians from Miami and Haitians from different places had to even fight for their respect of being Haitian. Haitians versus Black Americans. And now you don't see so much hatred or miscommunication or stereotypes. It's more of a blendedness, but still Haitians keep their own things and their own customs and their beliefs and their lifestyle to other Haitians, which I think is totally fine. Now, back to me growing up Haitian. I wasn't only living in a Haitian household. My mother was a Jehovah's Witness. So there's a lot of things as being a Jehovah's Witness that I couldn't do. And I had to explain to my mostly African American friends, I can't do this. There's a reason why I don't celebrate birthdays, and that's the reason why I'm not going to yours. And I don't celebrate Halloween, and I don't do these things that are typical American, I guess, childhood rites of passage that I will not be experiencing, you know? Which was hard at the time being a child, because you understood where your parents was coming from. In my case, my mother, I understood her religious beliefs. I just didn't necessarily believed in them. And it was hard trying to, fake like I didn't care. Like, yeah, I wanted to go to your birthday party. And yeah, I want to do sleepovers, though it's not against Jehovah's Witnesses to do sleepovers, but Haitian households were very strict about where we leave our children. So things like sleepovers, things like going to parties, things like even going out and flâner wasn't something that you let your kids do with other kids that you didn't really know. You didn't really want your kids to hang out with other kids. And a lot of Haitians, not necessarily Haitians, just black folks from other countries or other nationalities, ethnicities, and whatnot, tend to have this misconstrued concepts of, black Americans are the worst of the worst. And this could be because of propaganda, just like a lot of black Americans had propaganda against Haitians. But they typically didn't want you to hang out with black kids because they didn't want you to fall into the stereotype and be targeted and be looked as a bad person. So a lot of times I had black American friends that I couldn't tell my Haitian mother because she'd have judged them off bad. And there's certain things like sleepovers that I couldn't go to because my mother would have been like, hell no, you can't go to no sleepover. Even things like, I wanted to go to the mall. It was more like I had to beg and plead and come up with a long, lengthy debate why I wanted to go to the mall. Just things like that. Growing up Haitian for me, I remember. Some of the things I didn't necessarily like growing up Haitian was, for me, if been on my channel, you're subscribed, which hope that you are subscribed, and if you aren't subscribed, please do subscribe. That I was sexually abused as a child, and it was something that I couldn't come to my mother about because though I was raised predominantly by her, I was raised in a single mother household. I didn't want to add on burden to her. I didn't feel like it was okay for me to come tell her that. Of course, we all have the conversations with our children. Don't let anybody touch you. If someone tries you in a certain way, come tell me. But you don't really prepare your children what to do in that situation. Whereas in comparison to stop, drop, and roll, you do that during a fire, but no one really tells you what to do when someone is trying to molest you or rape you. And I wish that Haitian parents would go into more details about it, about sexual abuse, and how you do even have the courage to tell your parents and what you do during that situation, because it's a lot of guilt whether you're Haitian or not. There's a lot of guilt and fear that comes with being abused. And I think it also has to do with how Haitian parents communicate with their children, because a lot of Haitian parents value the opinions of other Haitians over their children. Now, I'm not saying Haitian parents don't love their children. They do love their children. They just show it in a different manner. In American families, you do say a lot of I loves you, I care for you, let's hug it out. In Haitian families, like, look, I put food on the table, I put clothes on your back, and there's a roof over your head. I love you. That symbolizes, all that symbolizes I love you, because you could be out in the street, but you're not. And I think if a lot of Haitian parents took out the time to say, I do love you, like, these words are coming out of my mouth. I do care for you. These words are coming out of my mouth. Like, I want there to be not necessarily a friendship, but an open door policy where you can come to me. You don't just see me as the enforcer or the punisher. You see me as someone you can come to, someone you can relate to, someone that you can talk to. So that's what I see, especially with a lot of Haitian Americans like I am. Parents are from Haiti, but you were born here. There is a lot of arguments and a lot of rifts in their relationship when that child becomes a teenager, because of course you are Haitian, but you're also American, so you want to live more of an American lifestyle or want to venture into what it's like to be a normal American, but you do want to hold on to your Haitian roots. And your parents are more so F what they're doing over there on that side, stay with the Haitian side. And there's a lot of miscommunication, there's a lot of misunderstanding, and there is a lot of restriction. And I'm not saying restriction is a bad thing, but you have to let your children experience things. You have to let your kids go through things. If you have installed good values in your kids, if you have raised your kids right, they're not going to be twerking for a world star with bodyguard breeds and their breasts all out. That's not going to be your daughter, because that's not what you installed in her. But trying to force her to be something or trying to restrain her and restrict her is going to force her to want to do what she wants to do and go against the grain and become a rebel. Now, a lot of teenagers become a rebel during, that teenage era, but I feel with Haitian kids, especially with the young girls, I'm not really sure with the young boys, but specifically with the young girls, there's a lot of rifts between the Haitian parents, specifically the mother and the daughter, because there's a lot of miscommunication. And like I said, if there was more of an open door policy where I kiki it with my friends on the phone, but I also have a good relationship with my daughter that I can kiki with. Now, I may not tell her about Blag. I may not put her in triple tie, but I do talk to her in a sense of not only am I your parent, but I am someone you can come to and we can talk and we can laugh and we can communicate well, and it ain't always on some mito a genoux. And like I said, it comes to the language too. A lot of Haitian adults speak to their children really harshly, and there's an impatience when talking to children. And I see this with my parents when I was growing up, and with my dad and my younger sister. Now, if you don't know, I'm the only child on my mom's side, but on my dad's side, I am one of four. The youngest is 8. She just became 8, and she's just wonderful. And my dad has a whole lot more patience with her and a whole lot more understanding, and he's more compassionate and empathetic. When I was her age, he was very snappy. He was really, do this now, or I'm about to flip out. He had no patience for anything. I remember when I would do childlike things, he would always be like, common sense. And I'm like, I'm 8. What does that mean to me? But to her, he has more of I understand she's a child. She does childlike things. Let me help her out. Let me sit and talk to her like a child. Let me give her warnings. Let me not be so quick to get on her, which I appreciate, because if you actually do read my book, Memoirs of a Forgotten Child, you know the bullshit I went through as a child. If you read that book, and I suggest you do read that book, physical copies coming soon, you will see that how I was treated as a child and what I'm talking about right now with my youngest sister is two completely different things. And I feel like if out of all my father's children, if she's going to experience the best out of it, then I would hope that she would. I'm not saying that screw me and my sister and my brother. It's more like we kind of had somewhat of an option to vent. We had other sources to get out whatever we were going through. But my youngest sister, she lives in a different time. She is a millennium, or I'm not really sure what she is, but she's young. She's young with technology. She's young and being forced to grow up way too fast. She's young and she's having self-esteem issues. And I'm not saying she necessarily hates herself, but she sees what we all see. The thin, the beautiful, the blonde. And I had to sit down and talk to her and say, you are beautiful just the way you are. And I know this really doesn't have to do with being Haitian and kind of venturing off, but just stick with me. I remember coming over and she had this Barbie doll. And she was just so amazed by this blonde hair, blue eyed Barbie doll. And she was just like, oh, look at the hair. She's so beautiful. And she was playing kitty computer games where you put makeup and choose the hair color and the skin texture of the doll. And I would see that she consistently chose white skin, straight hair. And I looked at her as like, do you not like brown skin? And it wasn't accusatory. It wasn't on some, you hate yourself, you safe hater. How could you? It was on some, you could talk to me. You could talk to your older sister. What's up? And she was just like, it's just pretty like that. And I'm like, do you think brown skin is beautiful? Do you think black skin is beautiful? And she was kind of like, yeah, it's okay. And I was like, you know what? We're going to have a talk about self-esteem. We're going to have a talk about not necessarily colorism, because I'm not really sure she could understand or grasp the concept. But I really wanted her to know that she was special. She was just as beautiful, if not more beautiful, than the European standard. And then that's when I started buying her black dolls to compensate for her white whitewashed life, the image of whiteness that you will have to combat on a daily basis. And when I bought her that black doll, she fell in love with it. She wanted to do her hair. She was so happy. And everybody loved the black doll. It was the Kenya doll. And I specifically did that because I remember when I was younger, I didn't have too many black dolls. I didn't see too many black faces. I didn't have that. And though I'm not going to say that necessarily influenced my low self-esteem as a child, but that didn't show me that I was different and my different wasn't the norm. And therefore, there was something about my different that wasn't accepted. And I didn't want her to go through that. I want her to have a healthy self-esteem. I want her to have the best upbringing. And from what I see with my father and his wife, which is her mom, I see that she's getting that. And I just want to add on to that. But back to me growing up Haitian now. Let's talk about the culture. Now, Haiti's colors are blue and red. And it comes from actually the French flag. After the Haitian Revolution, Haitians decided to take away the white part, not only because they wanted to make their own flag and have their own representation, but also they just overthrew France, which was the U.S. Army of today back then. So they didn't want anything white, especially Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Like, he wasn't anything pro-white, and he was avid about kicking white Europeans out of Haiti, but also being our own free, independent nation. So that's why today you will see that Haiti does have the blue and does have the red, but there's no white. You see the palm trees, which it's a tropical island, so of course it will be a palm tree. And you see other weaponry that was used to fight off the French on the flag. Now, some of the typical cultural food is like soup, and it is a squash soup that is eaten on January 1st of each year that represents our liberation from France. Now, soup is a delicacy for Haitians because back when Haitians were slaves underneath French, they were not able to eat soup, but luckily for them, they were able to prepare it. So now when we eat it, it's in celebration of like our liberation. We could do what we want to do. We are not catering to other people. We're doing for us. We also have other foods like legumes, which I guess would be like collard greens or some type of greens that, Americans are accustomed to. Sauce pois, which is parade sauce with all types of spices, and it's all types of goodness. I'll add a picture of all these foods so you could see for yourself what it's like, and if you have a Haitian restaurant nearby, please visit it. There is my moulin, which is cornmeal. It is boiled. It has oil in it. It has a couple of spices in it. There is fried plantains, which is banana peze, and that's just divine. There is griot, which is pork, fried pork, and other foods that I did not mention. We also have snack foods like cassave avec mamba, which cassave comes from the cassava root, and it is made into something like a cracker. It's not really a cracker, but something like that. And then mamba is peanut butter, and you put it on there, and that's a good treat. There is mabi, which I absolutely freaking adore, and it's from tree bark and other spices like ginger and anise, and you would brew it. Then after it's brewed, you would pour it back and forth, and then you would see it to foam, and then you would put sugar in it. Typically, people have it chilled. I like mine chilled. There's also drinks like shipapai, which I freaking adore too, and it's papaya juice, and there's just so many things about Haitian food that I adore. There's Haitian bread, and it's not like no other bread. It's just good, just divine. There is Haitian cake, gâteau Haitian. I love it. I prefer it. If I'm going to have a birthday cake or any cake, I'm just going to have Haitian cake. and a lot of other foods like pate, and pate is patty, Haitian patties. I know people are accustomed to Jamaican patties, not the same thing. The crust is more flakier, it's more on the croissant side of things, but the filling could be fish, it could be beef, it could be chicken, and a lot of times you can find Haitian patties in Haitian bakeries. There's also cremas, and cremas, just to keep it short and sweet, is like Haitian eggnog, but there is no egg in it. It's made from milk and sugar and other spices. A lot of people like it. I saw some cooking channel where some white guy was trying to, I guess, make cremas, but he just totally made it bootlegging and it was not the same. But you know, it always be like that when white people try to remake black things. And it's consumed during the holidays, and it's definitely supposed to keep you warm. There's some alcohol up in there, so you will be very warmed and maybe it's slightly tipsy, but it's really good. And both Mabi and Kasab actually comes from the Tianos, who were wiped off by Europeans who came to the island, and they were the ones who actually invented the drink and the food. And now today Haitians have continued the tradition and the ritual of making the drink and the food. Also with kasab, you can eat it with zaboka, and zaboka is avocado, which is great. And that is a little bit about the Haitian food. Definitely check it out if you have any Haitian markets that will help you out to find these foods. And if you live next to a Haitian restaurant or Haitian store or whatever, stop by and have some Haitian food, because I've never met someone who had Haitian food and they were like, not really my thing. Maybe spicy for y'all, because you know, Haitians do like their spice now. Maybe a tad bit spicy for you, but it's great. It's bomb. I mean, I may be, biased, but it's bomb. And then there's Carnival. And how do I explain Carnival? Carnival is an experience. And no, I'm not talking about the cruise. And no, I'm not talking about Ferris wheels. I'm talking about celebration for Caribbean people and South Americans. Now, I don't really know what Carnival is like in South America, but I know what Carnival is like in the States and what Carnival is like in the Caribbean. Now, Carnival is a representation of each country's history. Each country represents their flag, represents their culture, represents their women, represents their everything that makes them them. Now, in the States, especially in Massachusetts, we have Carnival every year. And we have them in two locations. We have one in Boston and we have one in Cambridge. For Haitians, there's an Haitian Flag Day that happened May 15th of this year. That was a Sunday. And there's always other events and parades, but specifically when it comes to Carnival and Haitians and people of the Caribbean nations, in Massachusetts, we do celebrate that hard. In other places like New York, I know they do have Carnival too. I know in Canada they have Carnival, and I know in Florida they have Carnival. I don't know about anybody else, but I know Carnival is a big thing, especially if you're from the Caribbean. And it's a celebration. It's a huge celebration. People have fun. There's music blaring. There's food. There's face paint. There's people on stilts. Like, it is a bomb ass time. I've never met someone who went to Carnival and they didn't have a good time. I think that's a requirement to have a good time. And people have vendors out there. People sell their homemade items, whether it's, jewelry, whether it's clothing, whether it's food. People are very friendly. People are very embracive. And Haitians in general are like that. Haitians are very prideful. Haitians are very accepting and welcoming, especially when you have places like Little Haiti and you have Mattapan in Boston, which is predominantly Haitian. When we meet each other, we want to stay in contact with each other. We want to be around each other. We want to build. And you see that a lot in the Haitian culture to stick together. There's a very big emphasis on sticking together, especially when you are from Haiti and you're another location. You know, you want to help that Haitian out because you know the struggle of coming to another country, not understanding the language, not understanding how to get around, not understanding how things work. So there's a big sense of community in adopting people within the community who may not be your friend, who may not be your family member because they're Haitian and you're Haitian. Y'all link up. And how can I forget the infamous "sac passe, mat boule"? And that's a greeting, like, "Hey, what's up, hello." But no one really actually says that, but Fetty Wap. But you get what I'm saying. It's a greeting, which means "sac passe," you know, what's happening, what's up, what's good. And "mat boule" is basically I'm burning, but it's like I'm on fire. I'm just that dude. I'm hot right now. Things are popping. And that's how we greet each other. We're very welcoming people. We're very loving people. We're very embracive towards one another. And we're very prideful. Now, I know on the news they'll be like, Haiti, the poorest country on the Western Hemisphere. But then what they won't tell you is it's probably because they had to pay reparations to France for getting their freedom. I'm guessing if they had all those millions of dollars back, they wouldn't be so poor. But the media tends to pick and choose what they want to tell you. But next time someone says that to you, you can be like, they're poor because they had to pay reparations back to France. The only country who had to pay reparations to their slave master, and who gets clowned for that. But that's neither here nor there. Just a little historical tidbit that I just wanted to throw out there. And besides the food and besides Carnival, there's also music. I mean, what would culture be without music? You have compa music, and compa is basically what hip hop is to African Americans. Like, this is our music, this is our genre. And there's dancing, you know, compa dance, and it's very sensual, like the tango and the merengue, but it's totally different. And compa is always live. There's always a live band. There's always live music. You hear the saxophones, you hear the drums, you hear the piano. It has its jazzy like influence. It has the organs. Like, it's very lively. It makes you want to get up and it makes you want to dance. And compa was started in 1950s by Haitians, and ever since then it continued on, and still to this day you have younger Haitians coming in and putting their spin to compa, and compa has even reached other places in the Caribbean, and you have Haitians outside of Haiti, you know, celebrating and adding on to the genre and having their own creative spin. Now, popular compa artists are Emeline Michel, and I love her dearly. Especially when I was younger, like, the first song I've ever heard or ever memorized, even though I said it kind of whack, was Akai Kayo, and it's the song I just love still to this day. Like, as soon as I hear the drums, boom, 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 I'm just like, yes, that is my song. Other artists are Carmi and Kassav. You have T Vice, you have J Perry, you know, who have Haitian rappers like Wyclef from the Fugees, you know. Are you ready? Get ready, get. You know, so what can I say about being Haitian? I mean, I said it all. And if I didn't say anything, you're more than welcome to add it in the comments section. So, yeah, I'm proud of being Haitian. I don't deny it. I don't knock it. Especially now, more so when you were younger, because no one really knew what Haitians were and what Haitians did. And it was a lot of crap. But now being Haitian, you know, people are celebrating. It's out there. People are having a different view on Haiti and Haitians. And people are actually respecting the culture, respecting the people. You know, I'm proud to be that. Whether people were riding with Haitians or knocking Haitians, I'm always going to be Haitian. I'm never going to knock it, deny it. And, you know, there's nothing else that I can say about Haiti that I didn't cover, you know. I love my historical roots, you know. Jacques Dessalines is my dude. I feel like he is my father in spirit. I love how we were the first to get our independence and how we were brazen with it. I love our food. I love the culture. I love the vivid colors. You know, people knock Haitians, especially when I was growing up, about, oh, you dress like a Haitian, meaning that you had no sense of style. You know, you dress comfortably, but you wouldn't match. You're this and you're that. And I know a lot of Haitians, especially Haitian boys, who took it to the umpteenth power to make sure that they were swagged all the way out, to make sure that everything matched, because they didn't want that stereotype of Haitians don't know how to dress and Haitians don't know how to match. So all in all, I love being Haitian, and I hope this video educated you, especially if you're not Haitian. And if you are Haitian, did I cover everything? And if I didn't, please leave your comments below. And as always, be blessed and comment, rate, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to rate. Don't forget to share. Be blessed, and I'm out.